Yo, what's happening? Okay, so 2 weeks ago, I entered a competition called the Moth. It's a storytelling competition that they hold once a month here in San Francisco, and indeed all around the world, where you can go and if you have a story, you sign yourself up, put your name in a hat, and if your name gets picked, then you get to go out on stage and tell this story to a bunch of people. And you only have 5 minutes to do it, and then they rate you, and only 10 people get to do it, and if the story bangs, then you win a prize. I went there, I signed up, I sat, and I waited for my turn to be called, and I didn't get picked. Sad. There's a theme every month, and this time the theme was falling. On the day of the actual Moth, I couldn't really think of a story, and then I spoke to one of my friends, and he reminded me of a story about a time that I actually fell down, and it really hurt. And it was kind of weird as well, because all the other stories were quite heartfelt and endearing, and most people were talking about falling in love, and I was like, I'm talking about falling on my ass. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Now before I tell the story, make sure you like the video, subscribe, tell your friends and all that. I'm just getting this out of the way now. Also, good lord, I look a bit shaggy as well. I think I might need to sort that out before I get down on this. Okay, here we go. Whew. All right. I thought I'd get comfortable for this one. Okay, so the year was 2008, and I was going to university at Loughborough University. If you've never heard of Loughborough, that's probably because it's a small, forgettable, kind of inbred town that people don't really care about that much. If you ever met someone with a full set of teeth, it would be like your lucky day. However, this town was home to the biggest university campus in the whole of Europe, which means what it lacked in character, it made up for in drunk 18 to 24-year-olds having the time of their lives. Loughborough was the best uni in the country for sports, which meant nothing for me because I didn't really play sports. I played a little bit of football, but to be honest, I'm not really a sporty guy. If you think I'm skinny now, you really should have seen me back in the day. However, it also did have the best university experience something like 8 times in a row, which meant that it was the place to go if you wanted to party. And luckily, I love to party. And I partied hard. I used to drink cheap vodka with anything I could mix it with. One time I even mixed vodka and milk. I don't know if you guys have ever had vodka and milk before, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's terrible. But you gotta do what you gotta do when you're a broke student, right? Now, because the time was so terrible, they had to make up for it by having the best student union in the country. Our student union was sick. It had 3 clubs inside. Room 1, which is for all your top 40 and your house and your techno and all that other kind of stuff. Fusion, which was upstairs, which is where all your cheese was and where people just like to get super drunk. And finally, Cognitos, the urban room, which is where I and my friends mostly frequented. So my 19th birthday rolls around and I'm excited. And I'll tell you why I'm excited, because my friends from London are coming up to visit me. I haven't seen them in a while and I've been talking the Loughborough Student Union up so much. I've been like, hey guys, this is the best student union in the country. You're gonna have a great time. There's so many good times here. I can't wait for you to come up and experience it. It's gonna be sick. So we pre-drank at my house and got ourselves nice and tipsy before we get to the club. Because you don't want to go to the club sober. Well, not Loughborough Student Union anyway. I mean, if you turn up to the club and you were sober, you might as well have just gone home because there was just no way you were going to enjoy that night. So we get inside and I'm seeing other people from my uni there and they're like getting me like drinks. I'm super drunk at this point because it's my birthday, you know, and if you're not smashed on your birthday, then what's even the point? I barely remember much of this night. What I do remember is having a really fancy watch that my parents got me, stolen somehow. I don't know. I woke up the next day and it was gone, but that's really a story for another day. No, actually, that's pretty much the story. It got stolen. So we're inside Cognitos now, and I'm showing my friends around, and I decide to take them to the dance floor. I'm like, come on guys, let's go have a dance. And we're all hitting the dance floor, and we're all gonna have a good time. Now, it's worth noting that the dance floor in Cognitos is slick with the drinks of foolish people who thought it would be a good idea to take their drink on the dance floor. So it's like an ice rink, okay? It's real slippery. But people are just used to it. You don't go too hard on the footwork. Your dancing's all up here. So I take my friends over there, and all of a sudden the DJ starts playing grime. And then it gets a bit wild. So I'm dancing, skanking hard, I'm sweating, and then the DJ drops Pow. And this is like 2008. Pow was huge. Because, you know, it gets a bit rowdy. People start pushing each other and we get a little tussle, but it's like a mosh pit. And it got to the point where he goes, oh, crack your skull. And my friend turns to me and he pushes me at that exact moment. And he just hits me in the chest. And it just makes me flat. And my feet, I lose the gripping of my feet on the ground because it's so wet. And my feet in the air like this. And for a brief moment, I was horizontal to the ground. It was beautiful. I was flying. And then that split second was over, and then the momentum of me falling kept going, and I landed on my head. I don't remember a lot from that night, but I will never forget the sound of my head hitting the floor. Boom! and I bit my tongue, and I could feel my teeth moving, and it was awful. It was an awful experience. However, I was so drunk that I just got back up again. Just bounced back up, and I was like, ha, whatever, man, it's fine. And then I pushed my friend and we carried on. Now, as time went along, like my head kind of hurts. I'm sweating so much. Like all the sweat is coming down my neck, coming down my face. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm so hot. Can't believe it. I must really be having a good time. And then one of my friends puts their hands on my face or my neck or whatever, and they pull away and they look at their hand and they realize that that's not sweat. It's just blood all over his hand. And he was like, yo, man, you're kind of bleeding. I think you might need to go see someone. And I was like, you know what, it's fine. And before I could finish that sentence, kind of blacked out. And then I woke up and there was a security guard and then putting this big old bandage on my head, and I could hear him saying to one of my friends, the girl of the group, he needs to go to the hospital. He's not gonna be able to go back in. And I was like, I'm fine, man. It's gonna be okay. It's my birthday. Come on, man, don't ruin this for me. And he basically said, no. You have to go to the hospital. And I was like, fine. Next thing I know, I'm in the hospital. Don't really know how it happened. I think I was driven there. Can't really remember. But I'm in the hospital and I'm getting stitches in my head. They're stitching up my head. At this point, I didn't have my hair. I just had like a really short haircut. And I'm looking at my friend and she's looking at me and I'm like, And then it dawns on me, only one of my friends is here. What happens to the rest of my friends? Where else did everybody go? Fast forward now, I wake up at home, call my friends, I met up with them, and they stayed at another one of my friends' houses. I went there and I said, hey guys, like what happened? What happened to you guys, man? I went to hospital and you guys weren't there. And they said, oh, well you went with Catherine, so we thought you were gonna be okay, so we stayed. We stayed to party. Like, but you know what? You were right. Loughborough University, like, yeah, your student union is sick. That's friendship for you right there. And I wish I could tell you that this was a story of me learning who my real friends were and being like, you know, Catherine stuck by me. She took me to hospital. But that's just not the case, because the only one of those friends that I don't speak to anymore is Catherine. If you are out there, Catherine, what happened to us, man? What happened? You took me to hospital and everything. What happened to us? I hope you're well. But you know what? I don't regret it. And I tell you why. Because if it wasn't for me hitting my head, I never would have got a horrible scar on my head. And I never would have decided to grow my hair and have these luscious locks that you see before you today. So yeah, that was my story. The Moth is on again in 2 weeks, so I'm going to go see if I can go down there again. It's a different theme this time, so I'm going to have to go down there and prepare a different story. Wish me luck. Fingers crossed. Thank you for watching.
Oh, crack your skull. Leave you fucked up in the bullshit. Try to clap this evil brain. And again. Oh, crack your skull.